it's been grossly exaggerated as an easy fix for our obesity problem. It's great for your health. I exercise. It's great for your heart, but absolutely not if your goal is weight loss. You have to do something about changing your diet.
Exercise doesn't help weight loss?
No.
Well, we've got a fitness group amongst some of my friends. There's about 10 of us in it. And we've been tracking how often we work out and how frequently we work out and the workouts that we do. And one of the things I have to say is pretty much no one in the group has lost any weight. We've been doing this for a year. And that kind of bucks what you would think. So the only time that I lost weight was actually when I went on the keto diet. I went from 14 stone 8 to 13 stone 8 in several weeks. But exercise and exercising for almost religiously for the last 2.5 years doesn't really seem to impact my weight at all in the way that the fitness experts might tell me on Instagram. What's your stance on the role that exercise plays in weight loss?
Has very little role in weight loss. All the studies, long-term studies, show it doesn't help weight loss, and it's been grossly exaggerated as an easy fix for our obesity problem.
Exercise doesn't help weight loss?
No. All the studies show that. The only caveat to that is if you have changed your diet, improved your diet, and you've lost some weight, maintaining some exercise does help prevent it going back up again. But as on its own, if you don't change your diet, it's of no use. And that's well known now by all the obesity experts and all the studies.
Does sugar make us fat? Is that the culprit? Is that one of the main things that's contributing to?
No, again, that's reductionism. Okay. But the reason exercise doesn't work is, it's important to realize this, is because we all know this, that you go for a walk, you build up hunger before a meal. That's what your parents told you, and everything about exercise is after it, your body slows down, your metabolism slows down, and it tries to regain the energy that you've lost. That's just our evolution. And so that's why it's great for your health. I exercise, fantastic for your mood. It's great for your heart, anti-cancer, all kinds of things. We should all do it, but absolutely not if your goal is weight loss. You have to do something about changing your diet. And I think that's the big, a huge myth, particularly perpetuated by gyms and fitness apps and everything else. And it is complete nonsense.
I read that you, when you looked at studies over 30 years and you looked at how many studies had been done on the relationship of exercise and weight versus things like sugar and weight, there was 12 times more studies done on the relationship of exercise and weight versus sugar and weight. And why is that? Why is there less research done on the latter?
I think that's the influence of governments and the food companies and the drink companies. So a lot of the exercise research done in the last 20 years was sponsored by large corporations who wanted to make this link between exercise and weight loss so that they could continue to sell sugary, ultra-processed foods and drinks and just say it's childhood obesity is because we don't have playgrounds and we don't encourage this. And that's why the Cokes and the Pepsis are always there at the sponsoring Olympic events and associating themselves with sport. And they gave hundreds of millions to various physiology departments, sports departments, nutrition departments to do research in this area. Basically, it was really hard to get anyone to do research into how sugary drinks make you gain weight or cause problems, because the amount of money for nutrition has been abysmally poor, from governments, and that's why only the first ever study of ultra processed food in a controlled trial was only about 3 years ago, and it's been around for 30, 40 years. So such is the power of that lobby that it doesn't necessarily distort the research in a sort of evil way, but they point it to make sure that the researchers are working in an area that they want people to work in, and distracting them, keeping them away from talking about sugars or even artificial sweeteners, which in my view, are nearly as bad because they're sort of, hidden and deflecting us from the idea that, yes, giving kids sugary drinks or even artificial sweet drinks is going to be bad for them and cause obesity.
Wait, so I cut out sugary drinks about a year ago. I still have the same brands, but I have the no sugar version.
Oh dear.
Oh shit. What do you mean, oh dear?
Well, all the summary of the trials shows that if you take young adults and kids, and they were, say, on 2 cans of, full sugar sodas, and you change them to the diet version, there's no real difference in weight or metabolic changes in their blood. You will go to the dentist less, so you don't get as many fillings, but and yet you should be gaining 300 calories, right, if you were doing 2 cans a day. So it doesn't work out as it should do, and that's because of these chemicals are not inert. So the sweeteners in kids, they change their brains to give them they want more sweetness in their food. Okay, so it could reflect your wish for your late night milk chocolate, who knows, and it makes it very difficult to train kids to have more bitter foods or sour foods if they've got these artificial sweeteners in their diet all the time. But they've now shown that all these sweeteners actually affect your gut microbes. So even stevia, these sort of so-called healthy ones, have an effect on your gut microbes, and they're not inert. So we know that saccharin and sucralose also cause spikes in your blood sugar. When I did it, I have a trace. They're not supposed to, but they actually do things they're not supposed to. So we know very little about these products, and my view is that they are harmful, probably not as bad as having the sugar, but they are absolutely not a health drink, and we should be encouraging people to have teas and kombuchas and more bitter tasting, interesting flavors and foods than just this ultra sweet chemical concoctions.
It's this sugar conglomerate that have been funding much of the research that points towards some of the things you were talking about there. That's also the conglomerate that wants us to believe the calories in, calories out approach, because if I just view all foods as kind of equal and on this sort of calorie number, then I can drink some of the sugary fizzy drinks and some of the processed foods. As long as I keep it within that sort of calorie deficit, I'll be fine. And so is that sugar conglomerate, is the processed food conglomerate for the calorie model?
Absolutely.
They need that, right?
Absolutely. It's vital, 0 calories or 1 calorie, on the can. That's what you see. And, you're fooling people into thinking this is a healthy drink. And, if I used to have full Coke or Pepsi and now having the diet version, I'm getting 300 calories less a day. I should lose weight.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.